Welcome everybody to the Art of NFT Business. It is an early Monday morning here in New York and in Florida. We are excited to get this show going. We had a great show last week. We're going to have a good show this week, and let's get started. Give us that old disclaimer there, Florian.
Okay, the usual. So we are not this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisor. This interview, there's no interview today, but we are just giving our opinion on the NFT space, and of course, do your own research.
Awesome. And we are going to have a POAP for this this episode. We're giving a POAP raffle away, another book, 12 and a half, Gary V. So here's what you need to do. You need to download your POAP app. You grab that POAP and then you go to the raffle, which is poap.fun/1273. And you'll be able to get into the raffle because you have the POAP. You have to have the POAP before you enter the raffle. And we will have that raffle drawing on April 11th. All right. We've got a lot of news going on, Florian.
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't been following much, but there was major news that I'm sure you're going to talk about, especially with that coin that came out.
Yeah, so first of all, we'll just give a little nod to the Ukrainian war effort. President Zelensky has legalized crypto. The Ukraine formally legalized crypto after receiving over $100 million in support from the crypto community since Russia invaded. And the nation is even preparing to launch an NFT collection about the Russian invasion. The big news, of course, is ApeCoin. ApeCoin was launched by the Bored Ape Ethereum NFT for the NFT holders. The token was not created by Yuga Labs, which is interesting because I thought it was. The developer, Yuga Labs is the developer of Bored Ape Yacht Club. It was created by ApeCoin DAO in an effort to show how decentralization works. However, Yuga Labs is fully adopting the ApeCoin as the primary token for all new products and services, including its blockchain game coming later this year. And Benji Bananas is a blockchain game by Animoca Brands. They are also implementing the ApeCoin. So if you were an ApeCoin holder, if you had a Bored Ape Yacht Club, or you would have gotten 10,000 ape per NFT. But Mutant Ape only got 2,000 ape. As of Friday, 10,000 ape were worth $140,000. And just 9 days ago, you could have bought an ape for just under $200,000. So you would have gotten 70% of your money back without selling your ape. There are some losers, however, because Bored Ape Kennel Club didn't receive any coins unless they were already paired with a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape in that wallet. And if you owned a Bored Ape Kennel Club just by itself, you didn't get anything. What about what's going on in the world of NFTs and soccer, Florian?
There's a bunch, but before we jumped in, I have a question. Maybe you probably know. What's the purpose of that ApeCoin? What can you do with it? Is it limited supply? Is how can you get some besides holding a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT? Is there a way to buy it? I think I've seen it it was on Binance or something like that.
Yes. So let me answer. That was a whole bunch of questions. Let me see if I can get some of those down. So there was a rollout to all of the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders and all the Mutant Ape holders. They got a portion of there is a finite number. I don't know what that number is. I'm assuming it's probably 1 billion or something like that. That's generally what these coins are coming out as. And then you can also buy it on an exchange. Now, what's it going to be used for? So if it's bought on an exchange and there is liquidity provided to it, there is a dollar amount for that coin. So like I had said, the 10,000 ape coins is actually $140,000. So I believe that is, so it's $14, which means that you could purchase on the Binance, you could purchase ape right now and hold it. And if it goes up to $27, well, then it's just like a stock. You've made money on the increased value of that token. Same thing with Ethereum, same thing with Bitcoin. That's how all these things work. Now, what they're going to do is they're also going to add this element of a metaverse. They're also going to add this element of a game, and there's going to be ape coins in those games. Now, what's going to be interesting is if they turn around and do a play to earn, meaning that you can get the ape coin by playing the game, then anyone, maybe the way, I can only assume that they're not going to just have it for 10,000 people or maybe 30,000 people, right? That they're going to want to open this up to a whole bunch of people. So either people are only going to be able to access the game having the NFT, or they're going to open up the game to more people. Maybe people with the NFT get an added bonus to their game, but for the most part, anyone is probably going to be able to play into it and earn ApeCoin. And then it's going to be a question of what's the value of the ApeCoin and what's the value of how many coins do you get in a day? Because if you wind up with 100 coins and it's $14, it's $140. It's not a bad, little business if you got going, if you only have to play for an hour or two.
Yeah, but also like, can we imagine a world where, okay, we're going to have the metaverse. Can we imagine a world where people going in, the ApeCoin is their coin, the currency in the metaverse, and they can pay to go, I don't know, to this party, to go somewhere, like use that coin in the metaverse and then have it like that kind of circulated economy inside the digital like world.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we're heading for. I mean, whether it's Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, Ethereum, these are going to be monetary systems that are going to be equivalent to the US dollar, but they'll function in the metaverse. So, that's the whole point of Ready Player One, right? The guy lived in a trailer, but he was one of the most famous, most wealthy people in the metaverse. So like, my 30 million SHIB coin, if that eventually goes to $1, but is only recognized in the metaverse, then I'm super rich in the metaverse and I'm not as rich in the real world. So it's going to be, we'll have to see. I mean, a lot of this, the tokenization is incredible because you can literally just say that, Florian, you want a token. And you could put that token out there without any liquidity. And if somebody starts buying into that token, it will itself increase in value. So it's a very interesting world that we're living in now.
It is. I'm kind of curious and a bit scared of what's ahead, but we'll see.
So let's talk about NFTs in soccer. What you got there?
Yeah, in soccer. So we have Ibrahimovic, who's the former LA Galaxy striker and current like AC Milan striker, who recently published a book, which is called Adrenaline. He actually commissioned different artists to create 11 one-of-one NFTs for the book's release. And we had the official presentation of the collection that took place in Milan. The artists, because they were kind of inspired by the cover of the book and some of Ibra's commitment that contained the book, because we know how influential and how not crazy, but he's kind of like a big personality in the world of football. So his book is probably pretty fun to read. And I'm sure like I haven't seen the NFTs that actually were released of him, but it sure would be really cool. But it shows how many professional athletes are getting into the NFT space.
You ever play against him?
I did, yes. It was my first year in 2018. We were in Galaxy and we ended up winning 3-2. Really one of the fun match I played because we were kind of losing and playing there and playing against him, and you don't realize when you get it on the game because you really focus on what you're doing, but it's after the game when you just look up and you're like, oh wow, okay, he's actually really tall, really big, and he's a big time player. So it's just fun to know that I played against him.
That's awesome.
And then we have another footballer that did something with the metaverse, which I don't know if you guys know. Boateng used to play for Bayern Munich, and he plays now for Lyon in France. And he's actually getting he's going to get married in the metaverse. He's going to have a physical wedding with his, he's actually going to get married to his fiancée, who's the martial art champion, Valentina Grada. I don't know if I say it right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. They are getting married in the physical world, but they also want to have a party in the metaverse for their fans. So that's another fun story right there. And we have also, well, there was a whole it's not a big news, but like in the whole over Twitter, people were kind of making fun of the creator of like Ethereum, Vitalik, and making fun of his look and being saying like, oh, this is the guy who like created the Ethereum that's everybody like, wow, look at him. And people were saying that he looks like Tom Brady, and Tom Brady actually tweeted back at him saying like, what's up, Vitalik? You may not know me, but just wanted to say I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for everything you've built in the world of crypto. Otherwise, Autograph, which is Tom Brady's NFT, wouldn't have been possible. I hope to meet you. I get to meet you someday. You're the GOAT. And because he said that because Vitalik kind of tweeted back at those like haters saying like, I don't know who Tom Brady is. So pretty funny story. He made the news. I think he was the cover of the Times, I'm assuming. So this week has been a not pretty rough week for Vitalik, but people were kind of like making fun of his look and didn't understand how a guy like that could be behind this big thing that is Ethereum.
That's interesting. You know, I saw just these last two tweets. You did a little bit of research into that. I didn't realize that that's where it all started from.
You did. I was like, kind of like, sometimes it gets on your Twitter feed, and if you know crypto, you know who is behind at least Ethereum. We still don't know who's Bitcoin, but you know who is. You know his face. He looks what he looks like, and people tend to like, I don't know, is it jealousy? Is it, I don't know what it is, but they tend to make fun of it. And the whole Twitter space went crazy, and he was just hitting back at the haters, just like, oh, it's here like a little part of like different tweets on me, like it's funny, I like it, but he didn't really care. But it was funny when the people started mentioning Tom Brady.
So for the new projects, what are you looking at? We didn't have a lot of time there is there something that you are looking at?
As of today, not really. I've been like, we'll make the transition to Panda Dynasty later, but Panda Dynasty made kind of like, I think is having a collaboration with a project called Street Lab .io. It's a project where they tried to bring like the street artists into the NFT space. They're supposed to launch one with a Mexican artist called Yeshka. Really, I really like the art. I really like the idea behind it, trying to build a community where they support street art artists and then actually put them on the map. Because usually street art like usually being created and being replaced right away. That's their vision. So now they can have like a long-lasting footprint in the world of art. So that's what I'm looking at. I just started like talking and like joining the Discord 3 days ago. I talked to the founders, who's French. So we kind of started discussing back and forth the idea behind it. They're still building. It's a really young community. It's a really young project. So they're trying to do the things right, but it seems on track, and I really like it. So I submitted it to my community of the blue check, and we'll see what they think. But other than that, there's no real other project that I'm really looking at as of now.
Well, let's talk about Panda Dynasty then for a second, because they're almost kind of trying to create a new Pokemon, right?
It seems like it. I think right now, like you kind of like took over what I used to do. Like I used to follow everything. Right now, I haven't had much time to follow what they're doing. I'm still stuck to the fact that they created that Pokemon Go like Panda Dynasty with 3D virtual where you have to catch them in real life. And I know that there's the new, I think it's either Click and Go game who's coming out, or another like thing of the treasure hunt that's coming out really soon. But I did not really see what they're trying to do with the cards or the collection, or I think you probably know more.
Did you do that the VR game? Did you walk around and find the pandas?
I did. I actually caught one next to my training facility. So it was actually, I was going to my car and I was looking with my phone. Oh, and I saw one and I got it. But I just did it once. Didn't really thought about doing it like more.
Yeah.
I should have.
I think if we had, so I played it one day also, and that was it. And in fact, it was funny because I played it right here where I am, and then I went down to Florida, so I could have played it down there, and I just didn't think about like opening it up. I think that if they had integrated it more like a player's card, like a Pokemon thing, where you got points and you gain points, that would have been more elaborate. But it was very cool.
Yeah, but I think you get points towards something. I think they're kind of like keeping track of how many you caught, or I really did not really follow the rules of this one. I just thought it was a really cool idea to do that for people that really, really want to like go outside and try to catch those pandas. And I'm sure there's some kind of rewards for the people that did the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really curious to see how they're going to kind of integrate that and create like a Pokemon-like NFT project.
And with regarding like the player game, that was the only reason why I know about that is because they wrote a Medium article. So I don't really get a chance to be in the Discord that often, but when I get a Medium article alert from them, that's when I take a look. And it looks like, we got like those bamboos, the bamboo stick came with the wash or the game or something like that. That's all going to be integrated into that whole game that they're going to do. Okay. I think it's pretty amazing. Now you're saying that for blue checks, you're looking to have them involved in the street art project?
It's usually when when members of the community like a project, kind of like submit it to the group and we discuss it back and forth. We do our own research and we kind of like see, okay, I like it, I'm not really into it. That's what happened with what I'll talk later. So I kind of submitted it because I really like it. And I think if they do like it, we can have a call with the founders, which is like could be really interesting. I did the same with Panda Dynasty. I talked to Gabriel about it because I really like the project and he knows that. And I was like, I know you're looking for maybe like people that are really, really involved in the NFT space and I would really like a project. And I'm like, there's probably a potential with those guys. If they really do like the project, they'd be like, okay, we can do something. We can buy some because we really like it. So I told my community about this project. We had a discussion and I introduced them to Gabriel and we started talking back and forth. We don't know where that will go, but I think it's really interesting for both, like getting involved in a project that has a solid background and a really like a vision for the future. So it's really interesting.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding. You're thinking about getting blue check involved in Panda Dynasty.
Also, yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, good. Well, that would be very exciting for the Panda Dynasty group.
Because we don't only like try to find new project in mint. We also want like to get into projects that we think are undervalued and that thing should maybe have a potential of like getting the value, bring more utilities to community and to people like us. So it works both ways and it's great. I think there's so many good projects that are really undervalued in my opinion. That have a really strong core of founders, good utilities. We're still building because it's still a young space, but I think it's good, and it's really hard nowadays with all the rock pools that's happening, and all like the cash grab and those projects that looks amazing, but behind it there's like kind of like a dark hole. There's nothing. There's no substance, and I'm sure it can discourage a lot of people that just entering the NFT space. So we're trying to be some kind of like the light for the people, like trying to find and tell them like what we think, why we would go this way and not this way. So it's kind of like exciting to be able to know that we're helping some newcomers into the NFT space and then actually helping and not sponsoring, but because we're not sponsoring, but we kind of like getting involved in projects that we do like and we do think they're going to do well.
That's awesome. When we're talking about new projects, I wanted to mention, so, what I've been trying to do recently is buy the NFTs in bulk. And there's an application that I've spoken about before on this podcast, but I also want to be able, so I was, I'm looking at all these pieces. I have them favorited in my OpenSea, but in order for me to see when they're going on sale, like I don't get any alerts, right? So I found this company called ParseIQ, PARSIQ, and they came out with this statement saying that they were going to integrate with OpenSea. So I just wanted to talk about it for like 2 seconds. I want to, if I want to be able to monitor either a specific NFT or a group of NFTs, allegedly this is what it's going to be able to do. Users can now create notifications, smart triggers based on various types of criteria, including but not limited to individual sales, floor price, volume, average price, wallet activity. And based on the metrics of interest to a particular individual, users can create triggers utilizing the ParseIQ and be notified off-chain once certain criteria have been met and triggered. These notifications can be sent to Discord, Telegram, Google Sheets, or be customized via webhooks. So, I mean, that really would be amazing, because if I'm looking for a specific, perfect example is when you were able to grab what was it, number 12 Panda, right?
And number 25, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you were able to put in some kind of, statement that said, if, 1 through 25 goes on the market for below 3 ETH, I should get notified.
It's funny because it's some like it kind of simplify the research, because that's what kind of the majority of the people in this space that know what's going on do. It's like they go on those Rarity Sniper, Rarity Tools, Nifty Rarity or whatever, and then they just plug in their own research, and then okay, it takes time. It will be really helping to have those like notification come right away when something triggers, like when you want one of 100 in that, as you're saying, like in that price with that kind of criteria, and then you get the notification, you can click it, bring it straight to the page, and then buy it. That would simplify the research. That's for sure. Yeah,
it would be so much faster. And yeah, you're right. I mean, some of these really super professional NFT buyers, they're using Nansen, they're using Rarity Tools, they're using all of these things to kind of watch the market, and they probably get notifications and alerts. But if this is really going to integrate with OpenSea, the only thing is that there was like no information as to if you had to buy the ParseIQ application in order for it to integrate. Is it an integration that's going to happen later? So there just wasn't really that much information on it. But I thought it's a good step forward if that's going to be something that really happens.
It should. I think it's probably happening with. I'm sure there's also other tools that the whales are using. They can be.
Oh, yeah.
They cannot be everywhere at the same time, finding the project that they like and offering, because you probably get those too. Like we get offers from the NFT that we do have that are not on sale. And so they're for sure using bots or any kind of like tools they've been able to create. So it's coming. It's not far away.
Yeah.
For the common people, for the general public, I think it's coming officially. Yeah.
Yeah, Nansen is a very good tool to monitor the entire industry, specific projects, things like that. But I don't know if they have the capability of saying, immediately when something goes on sale that you're specifically tracking if you get an alert. I'm just not sure, but it's Yeah, the tools and technologies, the analytics that are going to come out of this in the next couple of years are really amazing. Let's we have to do some catch up on our old friends NFT projects. We need to let everybody know that Glotty Knights have decided to delay their launch. So they were originally going to launch, I think it was actually today or the 21st or the 28th. I think it was, I think it's the 27th and 28th, right? What was that?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was 26th and 27th, or 27, 28.
Yeah, something like that. So they have decided to delay their launch. I spoke to them. I thought that that was a good decision to make. I don't think that they had the right number of people in their Discord and Twitter. I think they still need to do a little bit more marketing. We certainly helped by providing them the videos. They're going to be able to slice those up and put those out there. They need to gain a bigger audience. And I think that, look, I mean, I think also we may be in a little bit of a down market, that any project that thought it was going to launch this month should maybe wait a second.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's usually smart. Like, you usually set a date for the people in your Discord to kind of have an idea of when you're launching. But if it's not ready, it's better to wait. It's better to wait rather than launch and not being ready. Basically, even though you probably have the right amount of people in your Discord or in your social channels, if you're not completely ready and fully prepared for what might happen, I think it's going to be a disaster. And that's what happened we go back to Panda Dynasty. That's why the floor is so low, because they wanted to launch maybe too quickly and they did not have all the tools prepared, and people were able to see at the reveal, see how rare they were, and then all the rare ones and not rare ones sold right away. So that's kind of what
I wouldn't put that on Panda Dynasty. I would put that on when Panda Dynasty launched.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because they were probably it was probably too early based on what they did.
Well, I think, you have to kind of go back to when Panda Dynasty really launched, because that was really before utility came into the conversation with NFTs. There was just this rush to launch NFT projects. And then, the idea of utility started to get unfolded with some of these projects. And so, I think Panda Dynasty did a very good job of realizing that this wasn't a cash grab, that this was something that they were going to have to really work at and build. But they did sell out fairly quickly after they launched, didn't they?
No, they did. I think they did in a week or so. But
yeah.
the fact that they kind of sold their known rare ones. That's what Gabriel was saying. There was an issue with the rarity thing. That's what the floor dropped so quickly, because people are trying to just let go of the non-rare ones. But I totally agree with you when you said that they did things right. I think they were really early in this utility space of the NFT. People did not really understand that. It was more it was kind of at the peak of Bored Ape and CryptoPunks coming really hot right now in the NFT at the time. It was back in September, October. So it was a fairly cheap, not cheap, because it was 0.06 or 0.07 minting. So I really do hope this floor is gonna rise, because what he's doing in the background, and then what he wants to do for his community and for this project is just it's just really, really, really interesting, and there's going to be a lot of value to it. So I really hope somehow people will understand it and be like, oh, this is a really good project to get into.
Where is the floor right now?
The floor is at 0.03. I think, I'm assuming. Let me check, but I think Panda Dynasty. It is at it's at 0.025.
0.025.
Yeah.
And I guess it launched at 0.06 or 0.07, something like that.
It launched, yeah, I think so. And it was when Ethereum was pretty high. I think it was around $4,000.
Oh, wow.
Um, but let's see if I like to look right now if they have any.
Also, a lot of these projects have to look for the long term. It's not just what's going to happen this year. We're still just in the second year of hype. We've just entered the second year of hype around NFTs. If these projects are going to have to be around for a very long time, right, without them crashing and burning. I think well, that's why we're seeing a lot of opportunities in acquiring projects that have just, the owners just didn't realize how complicated and complex it was to manage one of those projects.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of what happened with those celebrities that we talked about. The basketball player, one of the influencers, like they launched their project, they don't really realize how a lot of work, because a lot of people now expecting, unless it's just a one-in-one, just a one piece, people expecting utility, people expecting things coming up with this NFT. Like, so it's not as easy as it sounded. And that's why there's a lot of rock pull. And that's what, like, I'm going to try to like shift this one to the next discussion is MetaMention. MetaMention looked amazing. And there was a lot of like good things about it. The fact that they created their own token, the art was just amazing. The fact that they were kind of like bring real estate into the metaverse, like owning a piece of real estate in the metaverse was amazing. But the more we're getting closer to mint, the more people starting being a little bit wary of it. And there was a lot of like Twitter tweets about how the founders were part of another kind of rock pool. Like they were, it was kids that they were behind the project, that they had no really like going into the mint. There was a lot more red flag, and for a project that's minting at 0.88, it's a lot of money and a lot of risk depending on what you want to do. So if you buy an NFT project and you want to hold and use what they promised to you to do, like the utility behind it, you want to be sure that you're getting involved in the right kind of NFT project. If you want to flip, you can try, and then it's probably going to go a little bit higher. But with the kind of hype it was, you would think that minting an NFT at 0.88, you would think you would be able to resell it right after minting at 2 or 3 Ethereum with all the hype behind it. But I think as of now, the floor is at one ETH or something.
Oh boy. Well, that's not terrible. You still made some money.
It's not terrible, but like, for example, like minting happened, like minting just started, and there was like 2 or 3 NFT being sold at 3 ETH by like wallets, like brand new wallets with just one NFT, and the NFT was the MetaMention. So it was kind of a bit of like wary of like, okay, maybe they have different wallets with their own NFTs and trying to sell it just to rise the floor and rise the hype. And so for us, because like we were like part of this, we wanted to be part of this project as a community with the blue check. And the more like going into the mint, the more information we got, the more we shared, and the more we were kind of a bit like not really sure about getting involved. And I think 99% of us did not mint any of it. I think we had one guy who just tried because he was really interested and he wanted to see where it would go. But most of us did not really wanted to get involved with it. The other part is, you can see right now it's at 4,400 items. It was supposed to be 88, like 8,888, and they decided to burn like the public sale or whatever, something like that. So it's another like it's another weird decision from them. I'm just happy I did not get involved. I think that I have better opportunities spending 0.88 ETH on different type, more than one different type of NFT project. So
yeah, I mean, that's a big risk. 0.88 ETH to start off a project. that's a lot of money to put in for something that, you know, I don't know, that's not really moving that well. And if they didn't, you know, the fact that they didn't sell, or that they cut their supply in half, that says a lot. I mean, that's a project that, you know, should think about giving the rest of it away for free. That's, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where you're winding up undercutting your own price because you made too many of these. Yeah. See, with that's a situation where you look at the Discord and you ask, and you look at the Twitter and you say, did these people really have enough followings? Because, you know, so many of these Discords are filled with bots. They're just filled with bots. Those bots aren't buying anything. So you could say you have 40,000, you know, 45,000 followers in your Discord, but it winds up that, you know, 2/3 of them are bots.
They had a good following, and they had also like influencers reposting or making selfies, videos about how great this project was. But it did not really sound like legitimate. It didn't sound like really honest and like open. Like it was not like a real, like, oh, I really like this project, I'm going to make a video myself. It was more like, I'm paying you, I'm giving you this mention to do that. So it was kind of like a bit, yeah, it was not really satisfying for like us. And I'm sure like I was in the Discord for a little bit before just deleting it. And I could see like people just starting like to question the project.
Yeah. And I'm not ready to invest in the metaverse yet. 30 years ago, there was a game called Second Life where you ran around inside of your computer, looking through your computer. You were in a game and you get property and build a house. And I did all that stuff. I don't see any technological advance between what's going on with the technology for the metaverse now and what Second Life was almost 20, 30 years ago. There's really no difference. Until I can feel that I am physically in the metaverse, I'm not going to invest into it, because all of these systems are going to need an upgrade. If I'm buying in Roblox, or if I'm buying in Sandbox, what tools am I using besides my laptop to move around in that space? So to buy a house, to buy one of these, I mean, that's what it was. Were they saying that they were eventually going to build a metaverse?
It was more like you can use this, like it was the first, they sold it as the first real piece of NFT, like real estate NFT and digital real estate that you could use in the metaverse.
But okay, so I mean, technically, everybody says, oh, this is going to be great in the metaverse. Well, my PFPs right now are just flat 2D images. That's not what I want to use in the metaverse. So at some point, I'm going to have to hand in that NFT flat 2D token and go back to the company and say, okay, I want my metaverse skin. And I want this skin to work in every single metaverse that I have, that I'm connected to, whether it's Bored Ape Yacht Club, whether it's Sandbox, whether it's Roblox. All of these have to be interconnected. Technology is not there yet. Right now, that NFT that you were going to buy is a flat idea to eventually roll out a house like that in the metaverse. Yeah. Well, that takes coding. That's coding. That coding isn't in that smart contract for how you build out that house in the metaverse. That is just that's your receipt that at some point you're going to be able to say to that company, hopefully, hey, I want this in the Sandbox. I bought land in the Sandbox metaverse. I want this built there. But I mean, this whole idea that people are, getting into the metaverse and buying these lands, I just think that they're jumping the gun. I think that they're over enthusiastic as to when the metaverse is really going to be here. When the first soccer game is played in the metaverse, then I'll be impressed.
I hope I can be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there was a technology that was being worked on for the Japanese Olympics, that they were going to be able to virtually recreate the live interactions and gameplay for judo. They were working on judo, I think it was, or fencing or something like that. So you could be in an arena and you could see the projections exactly. It would look like Star Wars, those 3D, messages. And so you could see the fencing live. I don't know where that went. I guess the technology isn't ready, but that's eventually got to be something. I have to want to be in the metaverse, watch a concert or watch a game in the metaverse. I barely have time to read the material that I'm supposed to read on a daily basis. The queen gets these huge boxes and she has to read through them every single day. I feel the same way. I have to read through all the news. I have to do all my work. Oh, and then you want me to go on the metaverse and I'm supposed to have a life there as well. I don't have time for that. But yeah, so for the Meta Mansion, so you backed out of that deal. And for the most part, the majority of the blue checks backed out of that.
Yeah, 99% of them did. Yeah, because there were too many red flags and we don't want to put that much money into a project we're not really sure about. Yeah. But there's another one that I just thought of because it's soccer related. It's called World of Football, and it's a funny project because they are creating this NFT in the idea of like being able to buy their own physical soccer team. The art is pretty cool. There's like 5,555 minting April 6th. And yeah, we are involved with the blue check as well because we really like the idea. Of course, it's soccer related, and so and it's people that are really engaged in what they're doing. I think the idea of like buying an actual football team is a fun project, and being able to do that with the funds that they're going to raise from the mint is actually awesome.
The NFT that gives you voting rights in a real world professional football club. That's some pretty good art. I do like that art.
There's a lot of utility. Like knowing that you can technically own a piece of a football team because you own an NFT is actually pretty badass.
The World of Football is an NFT collection of 5,555 uniquely generated team captains with a variation of over 2 trillion different trait combinations that make each and every NFT one of a kind. Owning one of these captains will give you access to both digital and real life utilities like never seen before in an NFT project. Interesting. So they got community events.
Like you can actually win tickets for the next World Cup coming in Qatar by holding those NFTs. There's been multiple Twitter space with the founders, and the way they talk about the project, the enthusiasm and the idea behind it. That kind of what made me, specifically me, kind of want to join this project. We had similar like Twitter space with other project that we wanted to be involved with, and I didn't see the same enthusiasm and idea behind it. So I'm kind of like really interested and see where I want to see where that's going to go.
Well, I hope that this is here's the team. Cisco. Okay, so they are doxed. So when do they mint?
They mint April 6th.
And how much are they minting for?
0.19.
Oh, 0.19. Oh, really?
Yep.
Really? So that's a couple of $100 there. Right? 0.19 is like
2250 times 2. It's like maybe 600 at the market price right now, $600.
Ooh, that's a steep investment. Download a white paper. Well, I mean, certainly the art looks really great. If this is going to be consistent, if this is going to be real, then that's very cool. This is a very cool project. I'm still looking at my Wabi Punks. I'm thrilled about those guys.
I got some of the blue check involved in there.
Oh, did you? Did they get in there?
Yeah, they got a little bit of them.
Now that so they didn't get it for free. They didn't get the free versions.
They did get it for free.
Very good. So they got like, they picked up like a handful, or did some of them like really?
It was more like a handful, one or two, sometimes five. When I told them I had 20, they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
But it's worth it. You just have to pay gas, and when you pay $120 for gas for 20, it's just less than I think was it $6, maybe $7 per NFT.
yeah. I think it's one of the cheapest NFTs that I've picked up. I got 50 of them, and I think throughout the entire thing, I probably paid a total of $230. So I got them super cheap, but I was waking up like at 3 o'clock in the morning and everything. So I was trying to, get them really super cheap. Well, I think that's our show. I think this has been great. Hey, so let me just remind everybody that we do have a POAP for this episode. You can download the POAP app on your iPhone and look for, you know what? I didn't even give out the secret code. The secret word is 12, TWELVE. So you're going to go in, get the POAP, look for the Art of NFT Business, or actually you're going to put in the secret word and we'll bring up this episode. Then you're going to go over to poap.fun/1273 and you will enter to the raffle and we will make the selection on the 11th. So now let me just explain to everybody so everybody understands this. With the fact that Glotty Knight has decided to delay their launch, we are still going to choose a winner on, I believe, April 4th. That show. And then we will give Glotty that information, and as soon as they launch, they will deliver those NFTs to you. So we apologize for the delay there. I think that they're making the right decision. Hey, listen, if you liked this content, please like and subscribe and add notifications. Thank you for watching, and we'll be up with the short version content and the long version. Have a great week.
Thank you guys. Have a great week. See you next week.